Long, Christian McCaffrey, all join us in the next couple days. Big Super Bowl week. All the stars are out. All right, we'll get to Anthony Davis in a second, but first, a couple of big plays you might have missed from last night's Celtics Nets. Marcus Smart with the slick behind-the-back pass to Terry Rozier.
He had an extraordinary game. The last Celtic to put up the stat line that he put up last night was Larry Bird. No Kyrie last night, and he played really, really well.
No, that's a good stat. That's a good name choice there, Larry Bird. You do those basketball references, man. Very impressive. I used to think that was a bunch of garbage. Very impressive.
Warriors, Pacers.
Good garbage.
Steph Curry, behind the back, splits the defense, and then finishes it off with a nice floater.
Steph had a quiet little first half. 9 of 9, 9 of 10 from the field, 5 of 5 from 3, as the Warriors just dismantled an undermanned Pacers team.
Boogie Cousins. You don't see him in this highlight, but, man, they are tough with him.
And he had a scary moment. It looked like he was seriously injured. He looked like he was emotionally devastated.
You know what it was, Nick? Something you're familiar with. Just clumsy.
That's not clumsy.
No, that's not something you're used to, and that's not clumsy.
This is Oak Ridge forward and Oregon commit C.J. Walker throwing down a 360 through the legs.
All right, this is, I think, the third time this high school basketball season I'm going to say this. I've never seen this dunk before.
That was so impressive. That one caught me off guard. Like, when he went up, I was like, okay, what's he going to do? No, he didn't go between his legs in game.
Hold on. Zion in a highlight machine. Check out the ridiculous block against Notre Dame.
And this wasn't even his best defensive play of the night. When he just ate up the Notre Dame player on the other end of the court later in the game. Zion.
The ramifications from this is anyone who potentially can have the first pick, that's why the Pelicans have to listen to it. Because this guy could be at the end of that trade. Yeah, give me this player, NBA, give me. But whoever has that first pick, Pelicans, you need to get some of that off in your life.
The most surefire first overall pick.
Now, he might be 600 pounds living in New Orleans.
Since this guy. Go ahead.
Here we go. The big story out of the NBA yesterday. Anthony Davis requesting a trade from the Pelicans. The assumption by many is that the Lakers are the front runners to retain his services should they be able to pull off a trade with New Orleans. According to reports, the Lakers offer would have to start with Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, Ivica Zubac, and a first-round pick. All right, Nick, there's a lot of back and forth on Twitter with a lot of potential trades and parties in the trade. What do you make of this potential trade package?
It's not enough. The New Orleans Pelicans would not accept that. Where you're only including 2 of your top 3 young players. Zubac, amazing. Credit to Zubac for how he's played in the last month to make himself a 4th young asset for the Lakers, because the beginning of the year he would have just been a throw-in. But you're not including all your assets, and you're only including 1 first-round pick. New Orleans will not do that deal. New Orleans, if that is the best offer the Lakers make, New Orleans will wait until this summer, until they know who has the #1 pick, until they know the Celtics can get in the game. They will. If the Lakers have to overpay, and I don't even know if it's possible to overpay for a player of this caliber, but they have to pay full sticker plus 20%. in order to dissuade the Celtics from waiting on, what if the Knicks land the #1 pick? What if the Celtics want to trade everybody? Like, you have to get in the game, and the way you get in the game is you say to the Celtics, if it works with the cap, who on our roster do you want, not named LeBron James? We'll make it happen.
Yeah, and that's the way it's got to go, and it's because it's in 2 parts. One is this 10-day window. Magic Johnson and them, in some kind of form or fashion, the plan to build a land LeBron James was the largest domino in the NBA. They did that. The next step is to land a superstar without wasting a season with LeBron. Now it's on board. AD, I believe privately, he would not allow Rich Paul and Clutch Sports to announce this when they wanted to. Because once he signed with Clutch Sports, it was inevitable which day we're going to get to this. Was it going to be in June, or was it going to be right before the trade deadline? We're here now. And the Lakers have this 10-day window that they could try to take advantage of, because they don't have the same assets as either being the Knicks potentially, because they might add Kristaps. They might put Kristaps in there, and with that #1 pick, and the Celtics this summer. So right now is the best time for the Lakers to put their best offer, and it is everything that we have. Just give me my driver's license so in case I need to fly.
Did we go through this already when the Lakers maybe didn't put enough out there for Paul George, didn't put enough out there for Kawhi Leonard, figured they would wait, and then ended up not getting either of them, assuming both of them would come?
So they definitely didn't put enough out there for Paul George, assuming he would come. Now, I had been saying they didn't put enough out there for Kawhi. I got a little pushback saying, listen, it's not that we didn't put enough out there. It's that the Spurs were not trading him to the Lakers.
Right, absolutely.
And so they think that's an unfair characterization of their offer. But it definitely
that is true. And in having conversations with people in the know, Popovich told Kawhi, because him and Kawhi still had a relationship even though people didn't realize. He told Kawhi, I'm obligated to do what's best for the organization. I like you. I'm going to try to take care of you, but the organization is the #1 priority.
And the Lakers and Spurs have been the two top teams prior to the Warriors' emergence in the Western Conference for the better part of 2 decades. You could argue for the better part of 2.5 decades.
Well, at least with Paul George.
But certainly would have with Paul George. And there is another element to this that people need to understand. So I'm going to show you in a moment the trade I would propose. Because everyone's going to include Kentavious Caldwell-Pope's expiring deal in their trade proposals. You should not do that. And the Lakers don't want to do that. Not because they think KCP is a great player. They want to keep KCP on the books. So if they trade for Anthony Davis, they have the ability this summer to have another superstar.
You'll have that money.
To have $30 million in cap space to offer up to Anthony Davis's good friend Kyrie Irving, to offer up maybe to Kawhi Leonard if he didn't want to take the full boat max, to offer up, I know at some point we're going to talk about Klay Thompson. So this trade right here, this is the one Magic should offer, and I would imagine he already has. You get all 4 of our young guys, Lonzo, Ingram, Kuz, Zubac. You get Lance just to make the money work.
Right, just for the books.
It's the throw-in to make the money work, and 2 unprotected first-round picks. I'll give you the 19 and the 21, because those picks are going to be in the mid to late 20s as long as I have LeBron and Anthony Davis. The other thing that does, Anthony Davis is going to have to turn down, if we're going to get into the weeds, his 15% trade kicker. Let's assume he does. He makes $27 million. LeBron makes $37 million. You got a $5 million Luol Deng dead money on there, and then you got Josh Hart's money, a couple other players. You're at $72 million. That leaves you $31 million if you want to go big fish, or, big fish fishing, sorry, whatever, whatever the hunting analogy is.
Yes.
You can still go do it. If you do these other trades people are proposing where you include Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, then you are restricted this upcoming offseason into that 2nd or 3rd tier player. And if you don't think you can get Kyrie, Kimba's out there. There are other guys. So that trade right there is the one the Lakers, I believe, are going to offer. It doesn't mean New Orleans got to take it. New Orleans can still wait, but that's the best offer.